Okay, for those of you interested in the reseller opportunity, if you signed in as a member, you had one of these three or more, then you can sign into your dashboard and then get to the refer portal. If you don't have any of the stuff in the front end, but you want to still refer, go to share. Because, yeah, you can do this worldwide. And so on the refer on the inside, right? Why become a refer? It's going to explain it. How it works, it'll explain it. Very simply, sign up and join. Okay, I'm already a member, so I'll sign in. So let me do that. Now, I'm in the back, and I'm on the dashboard through the share link. Okay, that's how you'd be. So you'd be back here, and you'll see what's going on. And let me come down and open the refer portal. By the way, when you're actually in the system, it'll tell you what you have. It'll tell you how many dedicated employed teams you have. It'll tell you how many web stacks subscriptions or website subscription stacks you have for whatever it is you got, the MSE or the AIE, any of that. So, boom. And that's what you can choose to, cancel subscriptions on, add other subscriptions. People can drop things they don't want, double down things they do want. They can just keep going back and forth on that. That's so cool. And as we have more features, they're always going to be tempted to add more of anything because it's neat. All right, refer portal. I am Portal 101. That's me. Don't ask why. Total earned. Okay, this is from sales. Okay, accrued earnings is how much has not yet been paid out or used. So released is what's been paid out. Demo balance is where I transferred to the demo balance. Some of the money I still have available that was not released yet, I chose to move into the demo balance. The rest is paid out. These are all sample numbers for my portal, by the way, just so you know. But I can withdraw earnings. And to do that, I just enter it, but it's going to say, hey, you can't really until you set up a PayPal account. Oh, okay. So I'll do that down below. PayPal or Stripe, really. But it's down here somewhere, and we'll find it. There it is. Add a payout account, okay? You can add PayPal or you can add Stripe, and it just tells you how to do it, okay? To get a link, email, whatever, give it a label. If you add PayPal, it's pretty simple. Just your PayPal email, give it a label, save the account. And then that way you can receive payouts through those two options. Okay. Now, let me go back up. There's a number of things here. I just want to cover them. I mean, it looks like a ton, but believe me, it just makes sense as you go through it. And then it gets really fast to understand. So withdraw earnings, once you have one or more accounts you can draw out to, then you can do it. Transfer to demo balance means if I wanted to do website stack demos with new domains, they're $60 each. I'll cover that stuff as I go, but think about it this way. Website demos. First of all, you wouldn't just give them out willy-nilly. You give them out to prospects who were pretty darn close to buying. They saw what you wanted to show them or what we wanted to show them. I'll get into that later. And they decide they really kind of want to start, but they're not really certain, or they don't know how it'll look, or they're not sure if we're replacing their website or what. They don't really quite get the idea of multiple websites, although they should. But you would say, I need to get them 3 websites. Well, if you're going to do it with real domains for them, whatever country they're in, then those domains are about $15 each. Okay? They're like 13.5 plus whatever the transaction fee is, so about $15 each. But that's because website demos are always 3 domains. Okay? So if you're going that route, you're paying $45 for the domain names that only apply to that guy. You're intentionally doing it for them. You can even optimize with AI to choose domain names or whatever, but you don't need to because the system chooses the domain names for them. You don't need to think about that. But if you're setting up a demo, what you're really doing is saying, I'm going to add this guy into the system and grant him the right to 3 websites, okay, that either I'm going to do for him or he's going to do, depending on my choice. You have the choice. That way you can set it up for him or let him set it up for himself. It depends on how you got him here and why you would do one over the other. Okay. Now, there is another way, and I realize I need to put that in here. There's a web, and by the way, why has it got to be 60 then if it's 45 for the 3 domains? Because there's also a phone number that gets bought for each. That's like buck and a half, buck and a half, buck and a half. So it's like another 5. Plus what? For 2 weeks, that guy's going to have the demo. He's going to see the websites. He's going to call the assistants and talk to them. He's going to be able to upload files into a Drive folder to see how uploading knowledge base files makes the assistant smarter. So he can upload anything about from his company. Okay. He also, or you, if you set up for him, he also could set appointments on it. So all of that is talk time, effort, and so on. Some amount of hours will go into that, especially if he's having other people in the company give it a shot. Okay. So the rest of the cost is simply because, and that's like $10, is just so that they have talk time and email delivery time and create a PDF time, stuff like that. Okay. So we're assuming some guys will do more of that, some guys will do less, but that's why the demos are $60 each. And again, you would give those to guys who are pretty far in, pretty close to ready to go. You've talked to them, they're excited, they're interested, they're definitely seeing the point. Better ROAS than Google Ads or Meta. And they really want to get in on AI and they know it. And all you got to do is cinch it. They're like 95% of the way sold. You're just going to start them off. Here's the biggest thing about that demo being $60 if you're doing it for them. When they get those real domains, it's going to tell them they have a week so that it gives them a sense of urgency to move and make a decision. And then it's going to tell them at the end of the week that it's closing. They need to start the subscription. Here's where. Now, if they start the subscription on time, and they're going to have a grace period of a week that they don't know about. We're just going to remind them later, hey, by the way, we're still holding it for you for the last 3 days, 2 days, 1 day kind of thing. Then what? If they start the subscription, it doesn't dump the domains. It keeps them. It doesn't delete them. It doesn't delete the websites. It keeps them. And then it just puts them in a full power. But if they start the subscription, buy a bunch more domain names, a bunch more of these businesses, then it'll add those in. So the guy may have 3 now, and then he starts another 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 5. Just depends on where he's going. AIE or MSE? What kind of customer were you talking to? A local business like a plumber, a roofer, so on, that's trying to compete and saturate their area, that's MSE. That's where they buy the minimum 20, 40 for exclusivity in the territory. Or are you showing coaches? Are you showing Amazon store owners? Are you showing Etsy and deliverables like that, or drop shipping? Guys who just do nationwide stuff like entrepreneurs, okay? They build apps and want to sell them. Then they might just get 5 or 8 or 10 or 15 websites. They might get 80, who knows? It's really up to the guy. You're going to earn from all that. But the reason you bothered going this far is you started them off so that they're really tempted to continue it and not lose it. And they'll be reminded that if they lose it, they're going to have to start all over again. But if they get it now, they can keep it rolling, keep it growing, keep it running all year on their behalf. And so that locks you in to commissions. Okay. AI employees, the dedicated employee team demos, the ones that go for $100 a month, $10 each, same thing now. They can use it for a week. Then it's a grace period of a week. Why have you got to spend the $10? It's a phone number along with talk time, PDF production time, email delivery time, access to the Drive file folder so they can upload knowledge base, connecting to the calendar so that they can set calendar appointments so they can just see the thing in operation and realize how valuable it is. Okay. So you would do this to guys who are smaller fish, maybe, or just you want to tempt them with, assistance for their key employees. They may have a really big company. They might be tempted after seeing one of those to get 40 of them. 40 times 100 a month is 4,000 a month. Now, so you would just decide how much you're transferring to your demo balance from your main balance. Move from your released earnings. In other words, release means they're available for you to get now. Just because you earned it doesn't mean it's available that second. We have to have a little processing time in there. I think it's a week. Then you can get access. So whatever's like a week old, you get access to. And so it starts to accumulate. Okay. And then whatever's accumulating in terms of, whatever you're getting, then you can move some of it to your demo. You can move like $20 to your demo. You can move $40 to your demo account. That way you could get like 4 of these things. If you had at least 60, then you'd be able to move 60, except you don't have it yet, so it'll stop you. It'll say invalid amount, right? It's too high. But if you went 40, then it'll just transfer it. And that's where the demo balance bounces up. Now you've got more room for demos, right? Now, you can do demos for free. It's just, what do you want to give people access to? You'll see. Now, top up demo balance is different. Like, what if you made no sales yet and you're just starting? You don't have anything coming, or you want to move faster than what you're getting. You started slow and you're like, holy crap, I get it now. I want to do a lot more. Top up demo balance is where you pay with your Stripe or your PayPal account however much you want. And believe it or not, we're really getting to where this is international. And you can pay, and it'll put that into your balance. Okay. Now, if you're going to do websites in Japanese, you don't need to fill your balance with yen. Just fill it with dollars. Over here, if somebody was in Japan, they'd put yen in, right? That kind of thing. All right, refer commission calculator. That's this whole thing here. Here is where you can get the idea of how much money you'll make, okay? And what you would spend, what you would get from demos you do that you either spend money on or not. You'll see. You can prefer a pop-up window. And this whole thing's in a pop-up. That way you don't go too far down. It's all just, all the stuff you can do right now in the pop-up window. Okay? Oh, yeah, I got to open the calculator in the pop-up window this way. That was everything else on the page. All right, and I don't have to have a pop-up preview if I don't want to. Okay, so I can show you. I'll just leave it off. All right, so let's say this. This is what you would spend. This is what you would expect to earn. All right, and that's what you're seeing up here. And this is amazing return on ad spend if you think about it that way. Like if you're fishing for customers and you're going to spend money on ads like Google ads, YouTube ads, Meta ads, you're going to put money out there and try to get some guys in the door. So much better to go this way, and you'll see what I mean. Say you're not going to spend anything yet. Okay? All right, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Okay? Now, let's say we're going to send some of those teaser videos. All right? Let's say you're going to send 100 teaser videos. How much are they going to cost you? Well, the average cost per teaser. It depended on the model you selected in the dropdown. You can see all the pricing. You can try a few out and see what you like. You can go study the models on YouTube first if you want. But it's cheap. You can just do a few and see what you like. They're all really good. That's why they're competitive. That's why they exist. They're big options and they're all cool. So just depending on your taste, maybe you'll think, okay, I might spend $1 per teaser, say. I might spend 75 cents. I might spend $1.50 on something really insanely high quality. Okay. Well, if you were going to send 100 videos at $1.50 each, so far your net profit's $150 in the hole, right? You've spent $150. Maybe you're not going to do anything with demos this way or generic websites that way yet, but you kind of got to get to it if you want to get clients, okay? So you send teasers. Why? Because it's a really good line. You can say in the email to companies you don't know, want a video teaser, or can I give you a video teaser, or want a video testimonial, or anything like that, or here's a video teaser for your company, and think about this. Did I have to actually spend $150 on a teaser video for roofers in a given area? No, man, maybe this is really like 1, 2, or 5. Let's say 5. I'd be in the whole $8. And why? because it might be this 1 or 2 teaser videos that I'm going to be sending out. I might just send this one out to 50 different roofing companies in one area, saying, hey, here's a teaser video for you. If you start up or sign up or whatever, we'll give you more, better ones, something like that, right? That's a generic teaser video. It doesn't have to be unique. The guys didn't buy anything from you, so it's a gift. Okay, but it gives them a chance to be kind of interested in reaching back out to you because, hey, you're showing them some love, right? Now, if you were to spend a little extra money, you can make the teaser video point out that on their shirt, on their hat, it says the name of their company, their roofing company. And maybe you match the color scheme for the hat and the image, or the hat and the shirt. Maybe even upload an image from their website and turn it into a video to show them. Nothing beats it. Like, I can make you read a book that's 300 pages long. You might be like, no, you can't, Dave. And I'll be like, I'll bet I can. Because what's the book called? All about blah, blah, blah. Your name. Like, this is all about David Bennett. It's like, really? Okay, now I'm interested. Okay, so if you show them some personalized love, how you bring their image to life, and you show that still image of the couple, that other video image, say you plucked it off their site, this guy right here, and you send it to them and go, do you realize that if you plug them in like this, your site will perform better? Google will love it better and it'll have greater appeal for humans, and do the better version of it that starts off with these guys' focus and then shifts to the roof being in focus because it's smart, right? That's why. But you do one, you can send it to a bunch of different guys. So don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money or something. You don't. It's just how much love do you want to put into independent companies? The more you dare, then the more reaction you can get. Now, say some of the guys react. Let me do this. Let me say we sent it to 100 guys and you did do it individualized and you did spend money, $150. Now, say out of that 100, let's say 20 guys replied and said, show me more of what you can do. I want more. How do I get those videos? You say, get a DET, we'll throw some in for free or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And so let's say you send off 20 of those DET demos. Now you're spending some money. Okay. And maybe you don't really send off 20. Maybe you do. It's just send off as many as you feel are worth it. Maybe you got 20 valuable responses. So now it's kind of worth it all of a sudden. So you spent 150 up here, for example, or you spent $1.50 or $3, and then you did 20 of these DT demos. And the reason for all of this is because now some of the guys are going to reply. Say the average guy who gets the dedicated employee team, he may start off the first month with one, or with your demo, see the value and say, holy crap, I need one for each of my main guys. Let's say that average number is 5 guys at the company. Okay? 5 guys. It's not surprising because it's cheap. $100 a month per guy to have a team of 8 humans working for you who have high IQs, multilingual, fully dedicated to back you up and make you a super worker, super employee. Now what? So say you got out of that 20, let's see what it takes to get into profit. And this is broken based on how many months you think they're going to hang around paying. Okay? And it's based on your share of the profits, which is after the expenses of running this thing. Okay? So say we get one client who got 5. Already, you're going to be at $886 profit for that 7.5 month period. Just coming in evenly over the months, okay? Which is a return on ad spend of 5.3 over that 7.5 month period. So wash, rinse, repeat, right? That's how you make a lot more money. If this takes 7.5 months, but it just took that effort, do this 7.5 times to get this every month, if you know what I mean. What if you actually got 2? That'd be 10%. 10% of the guys signed up who got like an average of 5 each. Crazy. What if they get an average of 4 each? But 3 guys signed up. Not bad. What if they get an average of 5 and they keep climbing? They just see that this is valuable for their company. What if they get around to 10? And what if this straggled up to 5, 1 and 4? Maybe you kind of dripped a little bit more on them. Now you're talking, you're over $1,000 a month return after having spent $208. Okay. Do you see the ROAS is insane, 52.5, times over on your spend. What if you spent some money on generic website demos? Those are only $15 each for 3 sites because they use generic domain names. What that means, though, is this, that if the guy likes it and he wants to start, he doesn't get to keep those domain names anyway. They actually get dumped every 2 weeks so that they're freed up for other demos. Okay? But that's when you want to reach out to guys who aren't quite as sold. So you want to put a little money into them, but not a lot. So that they won't be able to start with the same site, so I'll have to start over. But let's say out of your 20 DET guys, you thought maybe 8 of them were worth sending those to. Okay? And let's bring this back because I want to get more in the shorter term, okay? Let's say that was 5, and let's say that was like 1. Believe it or not, you are still in profit, even after the expenses of this, but you're climbing the ladder. You use the teaser videos to reach the generic DET or the generic website demos. I'm sorry, you use the teaser videos to put out the dedicated employee team demos that lock people into wanting to subscribe before they lose all the stuff they built with their employees. Right? See that? There's a sense of urgency. And you use the money that came in from that to get the generic website demos going. So again, teaser videos is to get attention. Hey, look at me over here. I've got something for you. Right? That's where you're just reaching out and shaking hands. And for the guys who reply, you send off the demos. For the guys you win, you can afford generic website demos. And then for, like, if you have money left over, or if you feel like it, maybe a couple of these guys out of the 20, you had 8 were generic. Maybe 1 or 2 were worth a real run. Real domain names. Okay, you still are in profit, 646, but you got a couple of real demos going out and generic demos going out. So let's say between those 8 and 2, you could get a combination of 8 and 2 is 10. As high as you can get is 10. If I try to get some of the AIE and some of the MSE, I can't move this unless I move this down because you only sent 10 demos out. Do you get it? So this knows what's going on. It's actually paying attention. Okay? See that? 3 and 6. So you could go 4 and 6 or 3 and 7. 3 and 7. Get that? Because it's just doing the math based on how many demos you put out. It's just being smart about it. Now, the amount of profit you can earn from that, it just depends. I mean, you won't get a 1-to-1 ratio like that, but say you got like half of each. So you got like let's see. So a total of 5. We'll say 3 generic and 2 MSE. Boom. And how many average MSE assets per client? We are assuming 30. If we take it down to 20, we're still, at 77.90 in profit. And we're assuming average AIE websites is like 3. I mean, I'm going for lower numbers here, right? Like on purpose. And you're still looking at huge, great freaking numbers over that 7.5 month period. Now, why? We just said 7.5 months. What do you think? Based on how all those conversations are going and how those clients are and who you reached out to, you're going to have a better feel than me for whether you think they're going to hang around 3 months or like 7.5 or like a year or 2 or 3 years. You're going to have a better feel. Okay, you're guessing, but you're getting an idea. Say it was only 3 months. How bad would that be? Well, you're still in profit. Okay. Even if you got 1 MSE client, you're still in profit, okay? So you're building it up and getting these guys in the pipeline for later when we can upsell them on more things. Overlap is the idea that some of these guys who get going will log into their dashboard and get some more stuff. Okay, we're assuming 8 out of 100 will get more stuff. Okay, get more packages going, and your numbers will climb, but that's just where we just jumped ahead and threw that in. You could assume a lower number, 2%, you'd still be in pretty good shape. You could assume a really high number like 20% and be in all the better shape. Okay? So, conversion snapshot will just tell you what to expect. Teaser to demo ratio, the demo to client rate, based on what you've been doing here, generic website conversion rate, and real domain conversion rate, which is probably going to be higher. First, they were more serious, which is why you decided to spend more money on them. Second, because they're more serious, they're paying more attention to their real domains. So if your instinct is right, and it usually will be because it's hard to spend money unless you feel pretty comfortable doing it, then there you go. Okay? So by the time you spent the money up front, you started picking up the commissions. And after you account for your expenses, right, that's what it's saying. Plain English summary. In this scenario, the referrer spends $448 to prospect and demo offers. After the build-in warm-up month at 25%, we always assume people start small and then add the next month. We just assume it. They start at like 25% of where they're going to go after that. That's what we assume. The model projects $756 per month in commission. Over 3 months, the projected commission is $1,701 for an estimated 3.8 return on ad spend. 3.8x return on ad spend. Why did it say over 3 months? Because we set it for 3 months. What if it's more realistic? I've had and tracked that very typically when people buy things, whether they use them or not, they usually hang out 7.5 months, especially if the thing they got is valuable. A lot of people buy and then never put it to use but keep paying the monthly rental until they finally quit. That tends to be like 7.5 months. Anyway, that would be 11.4x ROAS, you know? So, and that's just based on small stuff. I mean, you could go crazier, right? You could send the teaser videos, but you could send a bunch of demos. What if you sent 50 demos? What if you sent 25 generic? What if you sent 5 real? And then you got, I don't know, DT clients won from 50. Let's say you got like 10. Let's say you got generic website clients with real domain out of 30. Let's say you got like 15. And let's say you got like 5. And the average becomes a little higher because you have a higher number. So maybe 6. And then the average for the MSC becomes higher because most of the territories require it anyway. You could be landing on dead serious money super fast for having spent dramatically less. And again, you can build it up. Nobody says just spend $11.83 right now. Start with some teaser videos to draw some attention, work those up in stacks, and as you get some pace coming in or some commission, committal guys committing, then you can step up. And then you can step up, so nice and easy. Now, all this sounds like work until what? I mean, even if you just drop that, which won't happen. I mean, it's going to be higher. These numbers are all realistic. It caps at 20%. 8% is totally realistic. All right. You added the payout accounts. Here's where you can create the demos. Okay, it's going to look like a lot less work here in a minute. What happens when you create a demo? Well, funding, first you go from your free gifts that we give you when you sign up as a referrer to your demo balance, transfer from earnings, and then your one-time payment, your payment for each demo. What happens when you create a demo? You create a real account in the system for a prospect, right? That you're going to drip on. You're going to see if you can get the guy hooked in. A 14-day demo period will begin. Then there's going to be these automated check-in emails to make sure they're using it, like it, make little tips about it, We'll be sending that. And then reminding them that their trial's ending, reminding them that they need to start their subscription if they don't want to lose what they have access to now, or else they'll lose what they have access to now and have to start all over again if they just wait another few days. So we're going to try to hook them on the CTA, right? But we're using AI to do it smartly. And then when they subscribe to keep everything, guess what? You start earning. How long do you get to earn commissions from guys you bring into the system? The whole time. For as long as they pay and as many things as they upgrade to, you get access to that. You get your share of the profits, which is your share of the profits. So it's like 20% of the face value of each asset. That's like a DET team is $100, you get $20 because it's 60. You get 20 in-house, we get 20, out of which we're spending money on upgrades to encourage guys to stick around longer and so we can keep up with the AI advancements and keep the clients paying. Now, having said that, the websites go for $75. Diehard cost is about $35, leaves $40. In-house is $20, you get $20. But again, that's not per client. That's per dedicated employee team, of which companies will often get several. So 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 paid every single month to you. And then websites, bam, 20s paid every month to you for those guys. All you need is their first name, an email for them, and a phone number. And what's their language? Just decide. Now, do you want to send them a welcome email? Then they'll be told how to call in or to sign in and do this in order to get access and start. They can do it on their own. If you want to make sure that they do it, you want to make it because you're spending money either on live domains or demo domains, right? See that? Live domains. It tells you how many you can create with the balance you have up here, okay? Your demo balance is 103, so it tells you if you wanted to do 60, then you could work these guys one at a time. You can afford one right now. If you wanted to do 15, you could create 6 of those right now. Okay? And still have money left over for the other thing, AI employee groups, the dedicated employee teams. You can create 10 right now with your current balance. But of course, if you send some of the stuff off first, then you won't be able to create 10 anymore. The number will go down naturally based on your balance. Okay? But again, first name, email, phone number, and the language. And you want to send it to them or do it yourself? So when I say if you do it yourself, you put the stuff in there, you don't need to send it to them. Flip it off. And when you create that prospect, you know what it's going to do? Say I put that in there. It's going to take you to the form to fill in their call checkout information. So you would just go to their website, do your own research, or have GPT or whatever, or use in here, just paste in stuff from their front page and say, extrapolate about them, you know? And you would literally say go. And you don't even need to do that. I keep forgetting. You just kind of like put in a blurb about it, because when you start the guy, our system will do the competitor research on their industry, in their location, and look at their company and learn all about it and figure out what to do for the angles, the emotional intents, and how to pitch them right. And how many, and those 3 websites is going to create, it's going to choose good ones in their area, different angles, different emotional intents, and it's going to get a different phone number for each site. And you can call and you'll talk to the AI assistant in each case and it'll know what's going on. And the more they feed in knowledge base information about their company to the drive file they'll get, because they're going to get that stuff in the email. Once the job is done, it emails them. Tells them, hey, your websites are live. Here they are. Here's where you get access to the drive file. Here's going to be your calendar. You know, check out your websites. Make sure everything's kosher. If there's an issue, log into the dashboard, submit a support ticket, let us know, so we can fix it. And now that's on us, not you. Your job's done. You just get to earn now. Okay? For everyone who signs up, you get to earn. For as long as they hang around, you get to earn. as many extra things as they decide to buy in their dashboard because they're excited and they like what's happening, you get to earn. It just all gets added. Whatever they pay every month, you get your share of that, which is like 20% of the face value of what they pay. You get it? Now, if you just do this and send it, you're out of the loop. They're going to get the information on how to sign up, but you're giving them the work, right? If you're trying to set up the demo for them, I suggest just get good at filling in that call checkout list on your own. Practice a few times. Get the rhythm in your head. Speak to it. You can do it on your phone. You don't even need to use the built-in microphone. You can use your own talk-to-text microphone on your phone if you're comfortable with that. How's that for awesome? You'll see how many referrals you have that are on trial. You'll see when the trial's ended. You'll see who subscribed. And if their trial's ended on Monday and they don't subscribe until Thursday after all, or the next Monday or the next Thursday or whatever, then you'll see it appear. Okay? This gives you your recent history. Like I say, we've been tracking everything now so that everything is crystal clear in the system, so there's no question about how it all works and how to pay everyone their share. Here's where you get to email them. Put in their name. Put in the reply to email that comes to you so that whenever they respond to you, you can log in here and respond back. But this system isn't tracking responses. It's tracking sends. So put in your own email for the replies. Although you can keep coming in here and sending again. There's no cost to send an email. Subject line. Do you want to go HTML or plain text? Guess what? If it doesn't know the recipient, you're stuck with plain text at first because that's email strategy tips. First contact, always go plain text, short, friendly, curiosity driven. Do not include a phone number. Do not include a link to anything. Just ask them something simple like, hey, mind if we send you a video testimonial? That's so you don't get hit for spam. That's so we don't get hit for spam and the guys around you don't get hit for spam. So see what the plain text is like. Video testimonial for you, blah, blah, blah. You can model from this. You can save your subject lines. You can type in a subject line and save it. Add it. You can get a bunch so you can choose from them in the future. And then you can save your bodies. And then guess what? When you do get responses and you come back here, then this will recognize the prospect because you'll put the prospect in, say. You're going to go out of your way to create the prospect. So now you're going to send them and you can use HTML. You can put videos in, phone numbers in for them to call demos or discuss with the system or whatever. You can put in links for them to visit. To come to the website or come to a particular page of the website, you can paste in the link. You can optimize with AI so you don't feel like you have to speak to them with your own words. Put in basically what you want to say, optimize it, and then tell it how you want it to change what it wrote. Make it shorter, make it sweeter, whatever, and then optimize again, right? It'll get it the way you want. Then you can send it. And you can save whatever you create so that you can reuse those concepts. You can pull it back in here and then you can alter it however you want. When you send the mail, not the plain text, but the HTML, you can attach a video. You can attach of any video you created in your system. Okay? And it'll put it in here with video with brackets. And you'll just see where it's putting it, but you can move it where you want it. Okay? It'll be in a good spot, but you can move it. Do you want to include a demo sign-up link? You can include one of those, which will cost you $60 if it's the real domains, because that's what you set up here. Or where? I got to figure that out. Or the AI employee. You could include both. It's just like, why bother, right? Normally you wouldn't. And send the prospect's email. There should be the other kind besides the actual domains, right? But that's okay. I mean, we'll get it in there. Maybe it's just not showing up now because I got to switch. Whatever. What do I know? I'll go back and double check it. But anyway, we'll get that right. And so that way you'll know when you send the prospect's email how much it's costing you. It's like $10 because of this, but Nothing for the video because you already made the video earlier and you're just choosing to add it again. And if you're just reaching out for the first time, second time, you can't include a video in the plain text, but when they reply, you can. Okay? So you can just include a video and direct them to the website, or include a video and tell them a phone number to call to discuss more. Or include a video and ask them if they want a demo of this or that, and just discuss it with them. You know, figure out how serious they are and then reply, right? And so the point is you can send a bunch of these emails off all at once. And then as you're getting replies at your email address, your reply to email, then you can come back here and continue responding to them with cooler and cooler stuff and HTML if you added them in the system as a prospect. Okay? And you can always create videos for each of those guys who reply and say, oh, heck, that's neat. Can you do me one like this? Or can you do a better one for me? Or whatever it is. And you can just decide how you want to do that and say, hey, if you sign up for this demo here for the dedicated employee team and use it, then in exchange, I'll certainly create this for you. So you're going to create it and you're going to pay money to send them a demo. But you're doing it to get them to respond and say, all right, no, you know, that's cool. Or you'll talk through the dedicated employee team with them or the website thing with them. It's up to you how you want to go about it. I mean, the only reason you should put money into any of this is because they are showing interest in something you can send them a demo of. That's so cool that you want to spend the money because, again, anytime you forget why you're spending money on anything, realize, first of all, we have to, because too many people just send demos all day, costing us money all day if we didn't. There's no way we can afford it. But if you do this calendar bit, you'll understand what your plan is, and you'll understand why you're doing everything else, okay? And you can use this kind of information off the front pages of the website to get them to review the front page and see if they're truly interested before you send them a demo at that level. Then you can ask them, hey, do you want real domains or demo domains? It's up to you, you know. You figure out how you want to lock each guy in because they're all going to be different. You're going to have a strong sense for that. Okay. I went through this whole back end so you see that you can do everything in here that you need to do, okay? Remember, the videos are retained for 14 days, so you can download them if you want to save them. But the idea is once you create a video, you got 14 days of using it in all these emails you're sending out. So even just that, without any other demos attached, you're not spending money yet. You're just prospecting through a bunch of companies. Then, yeah, I mean, just go look up in your town or in another town a bunch of companies in a certain industry where you find that you can make a video for them that'll, you know, a good generic video that you can send to all of them to see who's interested in replying. And then you can send them a personalized video, which will just cost you another couple of bucks or $1 or whatever, depending on the model you use. But to lock them down harder, make them more interested and talk about more things. Then based on how the conversation unfolds, you'll see what else you're willing to spend money to offer them and what they want to get into. And you don't always have to give a demo. I mean, maybe you'll just direct somebody to a page and they'll sign right up. Okay? And you'll be credited for it. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. The reason for the emails here is that we track that. Emails that where you put in prospects. So that way we know when a prospect signs up or when they continue a subscription or when they do more, it's because you created them. So the moment somebody comes and signs up for more or signs in, really, they should tell them that. Say, hey, I already created you as a prospect. Use this information, log in and choose your weapon. You know, great. The point is they're attached to you. Okay. Oh, yeah. And just give them a bonus. Say, sign up using this information. Let me know so I can verify it. And then I'll be able to give this thing to you, you know. And if they sign up some other way, guess what you can do? You can go to your dashboard and supply or give us a support ticket going, hey, I sent this prospect, in the nursing home in this city, this thing, and they signed up, but they signed up with this other information. It's this company right here. And we'll be like, oh, okay, so we can assign them to you. All right. And that's no problem. I absolutely want to start setting everybody up with this stuff who want to roll with it because everything is moving super fast and we can all get rich really fast if we push. The gap between what we can do and what people understand is really wide right now. I talk to people who have no idea that this stuff is happening and don't think it's really any good when they hear about it. Okay, the gap is massive. So this is why we went even worldwide with exposure. Okay, so get in, get going because this is huge and it'll benefit you. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to point out what's going on with current marketing and then tie that into how that fits for position owners and how all this fits as an optional addition for position owners because this is crazy. This is really getting cool. And we really want to take advantage of the fact that right now that gap is so massive that if we automate this, it's insane what's going to happen. Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Oh, and by the way, even that referrer portal is in all the languages that we have right now in here. Okay, and we'll just add as we go. And people who sign up and buy in can buy in their local currencies, or at least mainstream currencies for now. I mean, smaller countries defaults to USD. Otherwise, mainstream currencies stay what they are. But as we go over time, we'll just keep evolving that system. What can you say? I'm excited. All right, talk to you soon.